Welcome back, everybody. Later this week, Cumberland University in Lebanon is hosting former Vice President Al Gore. He'll be there to kick off their inaugural Peace Forum, held in memory of Cumberland alumnus Cordell Hull. We're now joined by Cumberland's president, Dr. Paul Stum. Good morning, Dr. Stum. We appreciate you being here.
Good morning, Nicole. Thank you for having me.
Tell us about the Peace Forum. This is the first year it's happening.
The inaugural year of our Cordell Hull Peace Forum.
Yeah.
We are, you know, this is our 180th year of existence at Cumberland, our 180th academic year. And we are so proud of many of our alums. We've had 2 U.S. Supreme Court justices, 21 governors, 7 of whom served the great state of Tennessee, more than 80 congressmen and women are graduates of Cumberland University.
Wow.
But arguably, our most famous alumnus is Cordell Hull.
Yeah. And you're going to have former Vice President Al Gore in town talking about him.
Absolutely. We're thrilled to have Al Gore. Al did not go to Cumberland, unfortunately. He went to Harvard, but another school of some note. But Al Gore is also, like Cordell Hull, he hails from Smith County, Carthage, Tennessee. And they're both Nobel Peace Prize winners. So we thought it was so appropriate, and we're so thrilled that former Vice President Gore could be with us to help us honor Cordell Hull that day.
What do you think the legacy and the history of Cordell Hull means for the students, and how important is it for you to help them to understand his story when they're attending school there?
I'm so glad you asked that, because you know, Cordell Hull is really the epitome of peace. That's what he was all about. And he stood for peace, and that's why we're calling this a peace forum for the entire month of October. We're honoring Cordell Hull and naming it for him. But today, our world needs peace, perhaps more so than ever in the past.
Oh my goodness.
And Al Gore also stands for peace. And by the way, Al Gore's grandfather was a good friend of Cordell Hull's.
Wow. It's so wonderful to learn about this history, especially during this time, as you said. It's so necessary. And y'all going to have several events during this period, right?
We are. We have a month-long series of events. The very first one is this Friday, and it's actually the day before. Cordell Hull's 150th birthday is on October the 2nd in 2021.
Wow.
He was born on October the 2nd in 1871. He graduated from Cumberland in 1891. Then he went on to serve in the state legislature. He served as a judge. He served in the U.S. Congress as a congressman for 11 terms in the House. Then he was elected to the Senate. And then after his 3rd year as a U.S. Senator, he accepted the job as Secretary of State, U.S. Secretary of State under Franklin Delano Roosevelt. And under FDR, Cordell Hull served as the longest ever serving U.S. Secretary of State, almost 12 years. Then he won the Nobel Peace Prize. He was standing right behind Harry S. Truman when Truman announced the Japanese surrender at the end of World War II.
My goodness.
So he had a remarkable career. But we're honoring him, and we're unveiling that first day on October the 1st, a bigger than life-size statue of Cordell Hull. Alan Acquire, famous artist, sculptor Alan Acquire, has produced this magnificent sculpture of Cordell Hull. And we're unveiling that at 10 o'clock in the morning on our campus this Friday. We'd love to invite anyone to come out and be a part of that. It's open to the public.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask you. Why do you think it's important for the community as a whole to be involved in the Peace Forum?
You know, I think, number one, people we can all stand to learn a little more about history. We try to imbue that in our students, but also in the community. And we've got so many wonderful, talented faculty on our campus, and we'll have some other special guests. We'll have 2 people there that day who actually knew Cordell Hull personally.
Wow.
One is the oldest living alumnus of Cumberland, Dr. Gordon Petty, who still lives in Carthage. He's a practicing physician. He's no longer practicing at age 101, but he treated Cordell Hull at the Bethesda Naval Hospital in 1955.
Wow.
And then in addition to that, we have Mr. Millard Oakley. And Millard Oakley, Tennessee State Legislator, former Commissioner of Banking and Insurance for the state. He'll be 92 this year. And Millard Oakley has a picture of himself with Cordell Hull that's wonderful, from when Millard was a law student at Cumberland, and he and some of his fellow law students went up to visit Cordell Hull in Washington, D.C.
Wow, some very fascinating history, and I'm sure a lot of people are grateful to be able to learn about this over the next month. So thank you for coming, Dr. Stum.
Thank you so much, Nicole. I appreciate your having me.
Of course, my pleasure. All right, Megan, I'll send things over to you for a look at the forecast.